Welcome to Finest Work Songs. My name is Matt.
My name is also Matt.
Matt, welcome back.
Well, it's good to be back. We're 3 episodes into the new season. It's feeling good.
A little late getting started, but now we're rolling, baby.
So far, it's been a fun season. You know, the first 2 episodes. We've had a little fun talking old Shania Twain, who's back with new music. Yeah, I don't think we really knew that when we were planning that episode.
That's right.
Scandalous cover to her new album.
Shania has always, as we discussed, attractive, very fit, and she is not afraid to appear on a cover naked like she did, not showing anything.
Yeah, tasteful.
Yeah. Matt, do you think she's going to keep pushing that envelope?
Oh, my
About
goodness.
20 years from now?
Yeah.
She's going to just keep on going.
The cowboy hats just keep getting bigger and bigger, covering up more and more. It's just her eyes.
Yeah.
That's all we can see.
We're like, we get it.
Nice, you're 77.
Yeah,
good for you.
We want to hear the music, Shania.
Follow that up with a little Fleetwood Mac. That was a fun one to do. So
Strong, incredible woman.
Yeah, Lindsey Buckingham. She's really good.
Yeah,
on the
Lindsey.
band.
Beautiful voice. Like we said, Stevie Nicks is the Jordan of the 96 Bulls.
True.
The comparison. So 2 strong women. And Christine McVie. Don't want to take away from her.
Yep.
We got another strong woman today, Matt.
Yeah, we do.
One of the strongest. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
Before we do you want to explain to all our newcomers what it is we do here on Finest Work Songs?
Yeah, here on Finest Work Songs, we talk music. We talk classic albums. It could be a universally loved Rolling Stone top 50 album of all time type album, or it might be something that you and I grew up with, loving and believe is classic and should be in everyone's library, or it might be something that we have a little bit of debate on. It might be one that you think is classic and maybe I don't, and an opportunity to talk about it and just have some fun talking about music. That's what we do on Finest Work Songs.
That's right. Welcome to Talking About Jams. What if we just kept referring some of the names that didn't make it? Workshop them a little bit. See if people are like...
See if anything sticks.
Yeah, you guys said talking about jams.
Man,
maybe we should change it.
Y'all said tune time a lot.
We're going to launch it to the music, but what's first?
We've been blessed to be able to do this show for several years now, and with that just comes some of the best listeners around, and so we're blessed to have such good Finest Work fans along with us. Sometimes we get emails from the Finest Work fans, and they'll send us their deep thoughts, their concerns, their sort of esoteric questions of the universe. Every now and then we'll get these emails, and we just have to share them. We have to read them for the Finest Work fans, for the entire audience, and we do that in a little segment we call Kenny Gmail. This Kenny Gmail is in reference to our Prince Purple Rain episode.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of talk about Prince.
Such a deep dive you could do with Prince. So he just triggers so much emotion in people and memories, and not surprised that we get emails related to that episode. It's actually more of a comment than a question, but this one says, "Welcome to the world of adult dating."
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it says.
Yeah.
Welcome to the world of adult dating.
That's what that person experiences when they hear a Prince album. Welcome to the world of adult dating.
Kind of makes sense.
It is pretty adult.
And they've got a URL. It's loveawake.ru. Is that Russia?
I don't know. Let's find out. Actually, I'm going to do it on my phone and not on the computer
there you go.
that we're using to record.
Yeah. And it's powering your utilities.
Yeah, my house is laptop powered. Gosh, Matt burns me every time. What is it again?
Let's see. Loveawake.ru.
Oh my gosh. Here we go. Okay. Yep. I got to get out of this. It says that I need to be 18.
Oh.
I can tell already.
Okay.
Does this person have a name?
There was no name.
Oh, okay.
That's nothing weird at all.
Also, I don't know why I'm surprised. Welcome to the world of adult dating. Walked right into that one.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, it's hard to sift through to know which ones might be real or which ones might be kind of spam.
Yep.
Usually, they're pretty sincere and heartfelt.
Along those lines, we got another one for you. Probably a little bit more closer to being heartfelt. This one is in reference to our Arrested Development episode.
Oh, great.
A lot of social commentary.
That's right.
Peeling back multiple layers of social justice and racism in the world. This one says, "You ought to take part in a contest for one of the best websites on the net. I am going to highly recommend this website."
Okay.
That's really nice.
That's kind.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Do they know we have a podcast?
Does it matter? We've got one of the best websites.
Apparently.
There are so many examples in the history of the world where companies started off doing one thing and then really excelled at something sort of ancillary and ends up, doing that.
So we'll probably wrap this podcast and just focus on having the best website.
Yeah, just have the best website.
Yeah, that's good.
So I think that's a good one. Maybe one more. This one is in reference to our Midnight Oil Blue Sky Mining pod. You ought to take part in a contest for one of the best websites on the net. I am going to highly recommend this website.
It's a different person?
Completely different person.
What?
Yeah.
How do we get into this contest?
And then Phoebe Bridgers' Punisher. This one says, you ought to take part in a contest for one of the best websites on the net. I'm going to highly recommend this website.
And these are all different
people. These are all completely different people.
They're saying the same thing.
They're saying the same thing. We struck a nerve.
Dude, we got to rethink things.
I don't know what's going on with our website.
We got a lot of work to do.
We are killing it.
We got to get to number one. I will settle for nothing less.
I think we're well on our way based on these high, completely unique praises we're getting from Finest Work fans.
Thank you for the encouragement, everybody. We would appreciate it if you would listen to the podcast. If you get so enamored by our website that you get stuck there, just keep going. There's podcasts awaiting.
Whatever circuitous route it takes you to get this podcast, we'll take it.
We'll take it.
It's so good to get that kind of genuine, heartfelt email from listeners like that. So we appreciate it. And again, if you want to get one of your emails on a future Epipod, send us an email to our Gmail account, finestworksongs@gmail.com.
All right. Like we said, we are continuing a string of strong women with this episode. Who is it that we're covering today?
Today, we're going to be talking about Miss Tina Turner and her 1984 huge solo album, Private Dancer.
Before we jump in, Matt, we like to start with our memories. What is your memory of Tina Turner?
For people of our age, the hits that were on this album, they were everywhere, and she took over MTV. What's funny about it now, looking back, is I remember knowing just enough about Tina Turner to know that she was already at that point like a veteran established star with Ike Turner, ex-husband at that point. She had hits in the 60s and 70s. The sort of narrative around Tina Turner at this time was she was this newly sort of independent, strong woman doing her own thing. And the other thing I remember was it's amazing how great she looks and how she sounds for how old she is. And then I was looking it up this week. She was 44 years old.
Yeah, she was younger than us. And back then I was like, wow, she's so old.
It reminds me of like when, one of those weird stats that you hear and you think that can't be right. Like Tom Selleck guest starred on Friends.
Yeah.
And he was like the old guy dating Courtney Cox. And at that point, he was like 48 years old.
What?
Essentially the same age I am now. But I thought, oh man, he's so old. That's crazy.
That's shocking to me.
Yeah. What about you? What's your memory of Tina Turner?
Matt, as you and I both know, it's hard being the youngest in the family.
Sure.
But I think really the difficulty comes for the middle kid. I'm going to go ahead and go on record saying that. When my older sister turned 16, our family tragically forgot her birthday. Because my older sister was getting married the next day. Mm-hmm. And so, my middle sister is just crushed by it.
Understandably.
Yeah. And had a pretty rough day because her friend sent her a sex quiz, just like a note, like one of those funny notes back in the 80s, right? She revealed that her crush was on this guy, Jake Ryan.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Somehow it got out. Note got around. And then she gets home and her day gets worse because she has to sleep on the sofa because her grandparents had a foreign exchange student that stayed with us.
Sure. That was a big thing in the 80s.
Foreign exchange students?
Yeah. Well, at least 80s movies.
Yeah, I was going to say, Better Off Dead.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know about movies.
Yeah,
this real life scenario.
Sure.
Anyway, this student, his name is Long Duck Dong. My sister has to take Dong to the dance. Wild night ensues. It's a long story, but somehow this nerd ends up with her underwear.
Wow.
Who then takes it to a wild party. The hot dude, Jake Ryan, finds the nerd. Nerd ends up telling hot dude that my sister likes him. And hot dude had been interested. Hot dude is dating this girl who was drunk. And so they make a trade where he gets my sister's underwear, hot dude, and gives his drunken girlfriend to this younger nerd guy, right?
Yep.
And the nerd's like, Jake, why are you giving her up, man? I thought you loved her. Jake's like, what's love got to do with it? And the nerd was like, bruh, speaking of... Nobody said it better than Tina Turner.
Yeah.
Through a long series of events, Jake ends up with my sister. He tells us about Tina Turner, and we get into that album. And so, that's how I first heard about Tina Turner's Private Dancer.
Wow. There's a lot of weird science going on in that story for sure. That's quite the story. Man.
That movie is so problematic.
Oh my gosh.
80s kids are all starting to realize it because we're showing our teenage kids. My daughter's 15. My wife and I have been, selecting some movies that we thought were kind of classic.
Some key classic touchstones.
Yeah.
Porky's, 8.5 weeks.
Right.
Or 9.5 weeks, whatever's
Right,
going.
yeah. Meatballs.
Meatballs.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that the summer camp version of Porky's?
Yeah.
Porky's was a big hit. What if they go to camp? 80s movies. We didn't know.
No.
That was like a fine movie comparatively.
Because the sort of awkward girl gets what she wants in the end.
Yeah.
The message was like, yay.
That's
it was
right.
Good.
All ends up okay.
All ends up okay. Gosh.
Honestly, my daughter is most shocked at how mean people were in the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
School culture.
Yeah.
Kids being making fun of and bullies and everything. They just don't have that.
Both of our oldest are same age and grade. And so last year, they were both freshmen. I'll never forget asking my daughter first couple weeks of school, like at lunch, do you have the jocks over here, the goths over here,
right.
and the nerd? And she just kind of looks at me like, what are you talking about? Like,
yeah,
it was such a weird concept to her that you would have these like cliques kind of off on their own. Not to say there aren't cliques still,
right.
but like that sort of ecosystem.
It's burned in our brains.
Yeah, that was how we perceived it. There was a lot of reality to that.
How much of that reality was influenced by John Hughes movies? Because when we got into high school, it was early 90s.
Yeah.
So then we're coming fresh off with our memories of what a high school cafeteria looks like. Here we go. We're going to start with track 2. What's Love Got to Do with It?
Touch of your hand makes my pulse react. That it's only the thrill of boy meeting girl, opposites attract. It's physical, only logical. You must try to ignore that it means more than
talked about 1984, an incredible year to put out a pop song and to chart. But to come out with the number 2 song of the year, 3 Grammy Awards in that year is something.
Yeah, you're going against some heavy hitters in 1984.
All right, record of the year. She beat out Bruce Springsteen, Cyndi Lauper, Huey Lewis, and Chicago.
That's a murderer's row of early to mid 80s stars.
Girls just want to have fun? Man, don't put that up against Tina Turner if you want to win.
Yeah. So was that Born in the USA?
Dancing in the Dark.
Dancing in the Dark. Okay.
Yeah. If he hadn't had Courtney Cox in his video, he might have won. Second most popular Billboard song of the year, aside from When Doves Cry.
The crazy thing is, like, this song almost never made it to Tina Turner. It got sort of bandied about and bounced around, and Donna Summer apparently sat on it for a while.
Matt, there was a band, Bucks Fizz.
Oh, yeah, we all know Bucks Fizz.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll probably do a couple of pods on this.
Sure, at least one. That had it recorded, was going to release it, and the only reason they didn't put it on their album is because Tina's came out first. They had decided that it wasn't suitable for a woman to sing.
Yeah.
And so they had the dude sing it. Have you listened to it?
I've not listened to it.
I haven't either.
Okay.
But I got it queued up for us so that we could see what we missed out on.
This is already better.
We need a bass, but it needs to sound like a human.
Yeah, it needs to sound like Max Headroom.
Yeah. Actually, they were right. This dude's better than Tina Turner.
It's only the thrill of boy meeting girl, opposites attract. It's physical, only logical. You must try to ignore that it means more than
It's all about timing sometimes.
I think it still would have been a hit.
You think so?
Not as big as Tina.
Yeah.
That chorus, man.
Yeah.
Even with that stupid bass slapping in the background, that guy's
Slapping
awful.
the bass.
Yeah. Speaking of the bass, that's one of my favorite parts of this song.
Okay.
I couldn't find an isolated track, but just listen to the bass.
What's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion?
Kind of reggae. It's not on the beat.
It's a little offbeat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is songwriter Terry Britton. This is cool, Matt. You know, when they're writing a song and they're coming up with arrangement, they'll just kind of make a computer recording of a kick and a snare.
Yep.
And so then he played the bass over that. The engineer said that he didn't even tune. He was just like, we're throwing it on there for now. We're just getting something. It doesn't have to be perfect. And they ended up at the end of the day using that. And so it wasn't even played to the final beat. And it still has such a good groove to it. That's pretty rare that you could do something like that.
The volume of the bass, it's loud enough that you notice it, you hear it, it impacts the song, but it's not so much that it overpowers and takes away from Tina.
What we've seen is that behind all these hit songs, it's not just the melody of the chorus. It's what's going on around to support it.
Did you realize that a movie came out just this year called What's Love Got to Do with It?
Really?
And it just premiered in September of this year.
What?
Yep.
This podcast is time.
We Are Time. It's a British romantic comedy.
Oh.
Not surprising with a title like that. It stars the likes of Emma Thompson and Lily James.
Lily James, she's the one that's...
She was Cinderella. Live action
and
Cinderella.
she was in
Downton Abbey.
She was in Yesterday, the
yeah, that's
Beatles
right.
movie that I love. She's that girl next door.
She is.
So Tina came in. She was going to do 3 tracks. They didn't like this song. It wasn't going to be a single. She was convinced that I Can't Stand the Rain was going to be the one. And so they started it with this one just to get her warmed up.
Really?
And said that she came in to the booth and just belted out like Ike and Tina, Proud Mary, just like crushing it. And the guy was like, whoa, back off. And she said, I sing everything like this. And
That's awesome.
But he convinced her, he said, sing it like you're singing it in my ear. No mic. He said when she did that and backed off, that's what we have here today. That's pretty cool.
That is
It takes
cool.
a good producer to help an artist sometimes.
To be able to encourage and nudge an icon like that to say, you've always done, don't do that.
Yeah, that's right. Don't be Tina.
Yeah.
This is her only solo #1 hit, and she was 44, and that made her the oldest female solo artist to place a #1 single on the Hot 100.
Wow.
And that record stood 15 years.
Okay. That's what I ask.
Until Cher came in at age 53 with Believe. Oh, gosh.
Little dance hall hit.
Potentially my least favorite artist.
Really?
Yeah.
Like of all time.
Of popular music.
Even when she was on that battleship.
Oh, gosh. That's
Or especially when
the
she was
worst. That is the worst Cher. Man, I remember seeing that video, and I'm like, 13 or something?
Yeah.
And she's wearing that lingerie on that battleship, and all the sailors are cheering, and I just thought, this is so gross.
It wasn't like her kid on the ship with her. I mean, like
Probably.
I feel like that was like another like odd part about it was like, oh yeah, your child is right there with you as you're wearing that.
Yeah. Do you have an artist that just is popular, can't deal with it? For my wife, it's Rod Stewart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she can't deal.
I'm sure I do. I'm trying to think who it would be.
Maybe we'll put that out as a question.
Yeah.
See if the listeners.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to what she thought was going to be the single, I Can't Stand the Rain.
I can't stand the rain against my window, bringing back sweet memories. I can't stand the rain against my window, 'cause he ain't here with me. Hey, window pane, tell me, do you remember how sweet it used to be? When we were together, everything was so grand. Now that we're parted, there's just one sound that I just can't stand. I can't stand the rain.
I don't know if Tina wrote any of the songs
I
on
don't
this
think
album.
she did.
Yeah.
That's not a slam. That's kind of how, particularly for a solo artist at that time, that was a pretty common thing. Just have like, almost like songwriting by committee.
When it's a solo artist who's got a great voice, that's what happens. A lot of time you have a team of people. That's what makes Shania so incredible. That's what makes Taylor Swift so amazing. To have the voice and the look and the chops, but also be able to truly write. Honestly, that shouldn't be shocking.
No.
But that's just kind of the industry, that they take people who have a good voice and then they give them songs. Yeah. And that's fine.
There are parts of this album where, gosh, this clearly sounds like a different song and a different producer. Obviously, the consistent thread is the amazing voice of Tina Turner driving all these songs.
Yeah. Partly that's what got her here. We'll talk about her backstory in a few songs, but what put her back on the radar was her cover of Let's Stay Together by Al Green. And so naturally they're like, hey, people like this. Yeah. Let's bring you Help by the Beatles. Yeah. Let's Stay Together on this one, and let's get all these songs around. Yeah. This is a song by Ann Peebles originally.
I can't stand the rain against my window, bringing back sweet memories. Yeah, when the rain, do you remember how sweet it used to be? When we was together, everything was so grand. Now that we parted, there's just one sound that I just can't stand. I can't stand the rain.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like that.
When I heard that, I thought, this is an example of the 80s ruining a song with all the funk and stuff.
Hey, you know what the song needs? Like lots of synthesizer and fake noise, and let's suck the soul out of the song.
And Tina sings in the way that if you are doing a caricature of Tina, you would sing that way.
Yeah.
Matt, John Lennon dubbed this song the best song ever.
Not the Tina Turner version.
The Ann Peebles.
Because he was already dead. The Ann Peebles version.
Yes.
The best song ever.
The best song ever. Granted, this was during his 18-month segment where he was in L.A. with his babysitter and left Yoko in New York. Yeah, he went to see her perform at the Troubadour, but he got hammered and just yelling extremely graphic stuff to her. Right. Next day, came up at the hotel and apologized.
Was he with someone?
Yeah, Harry Nilsson.
It was Harry Nilsson. Okay, that's right. Okay, I knew it was another contemporary of his. Yeah. And they just were blasted and being inappropriate and terrible people.
It's a great story about the song. They were going to a concert, and on the way out it was raining, and she just snapped like, I can't stand the rain. She was with her partner, was a songwriter. So they went back inside, forgot about the concert, and they decided to write something that was against all these happy weather songs. Even when I didn't like this version, I thought, that's a cool concept to sing about the weather in terms of relationship and not liking it because of what it reminds you of. It's been covered a ton. Yeah. Probably most famous cover of this is by Missy Elliott.
Me, I'm super fly, super duper fly, super duper fly. Me, I'm super fly, super duper fly, super duper fly. Me, I'm super fly, super duper fly, super duper fly. Me, I'm super fly. When the rain hits my window, I take in me some endo. Me and Timberland, ooh, we sang a jangle. We so tight that you get our styles tangled. Sway your do-si-do like
We're gonna have to do Missy Elliott sometime here.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about strong women. All right, let's get back to Tina's version. Yeah. She thought this was going to be a hit because it had been a huge hit.
I don't fully get why it's been a hit. First version, it's got that soul feel.
Yeah, so I get that a little bit.
I still don't hear it. I still don't listen to that and go, oh yeah, that's a huge hit. I think of it as like, oh, it's a really good song.
They're in the 80s. They all love that song. It's like 10 years old, but then they take it to the time.
They 80s it up.
For me, I thought, why is this a single? Yeah. All right, we'll keep moving on. Next, we're going to cover the title track, Private Dancer. Private Dancer.
She's a hooker.
Of course, there's a saxophone.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the men come in these places, and and the men are all the same. You don't look at their faces, and you don't ask their names. You don't think of them as human. You don't think of them at all. You keep your mind on the money, keeping your eyes on the wall. I'm your private dancer, a dancer for money. Do what you want me to do. I'm your private dancer, a dancer for money, and any old music will do.
The song is written by Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits. I love Dire Straits, and I think Knopfler is just so incredible. This is just a strange backstory to this. Like, to Knopfler's credit, I think he even said this song should be sung by a woman.
Okay.
I distinctly remember one Christmas, probably 84, 85, getting Brothers in Arms. This song has a very Dire Straits Brothers in Arms saxophone sound
right.
to it.
Yeah.
And even lyrically,
I can hear
him singing
Yeah.
this.
But also, when I read the lyrics,
Yeah.
so surprise, folks, it's about a prostitute.
Right.
It is a very insightful song into her life. You know, all the men are the same. You don't look at their faces. You don't ask their names.
Yeah.
Deutschmarks are dollars. American Express will do nicely. Thank you. It reveals the darkness behind someone hiring a prostitute.
Right.
It's complete objectification.
Yeah.
That there's no relationship at all. It's just a transaction for her body. So
Right.
I was like, oh, a woman wrote this and like really captured that.
Yeah.
The darkness and the emptiness of it and the struggle of the woman who's the private dancer. But then I'm like, Mark Knopfler,
Yeah.
how'd you write this?
So even on Brothers in Arms, there's a song called Your Latest Trick, which references hookers and people on the fringes of society and late nights, early mornings when streets are empty and there's you know, only a few people kind of out and about. You're trying to navigate a weird, dark, tough world. And so, I mean, clearly that's a thread kind of.
Yeah. He was hanging out in some seedy places.
I mean, yeah.
I see here that they couldn't use the original for contract reasons. And so they had to come in and remake it, which is just a hassle.
Right.
If they're going to go in and play it exactly the same.
I'm sure it was exactly the same.
Then why not just whatever, you know?
Knopfler didn't play on it.
He didn't play on his own song?
No.
Why?
Instead, Jeff Beck plays on it.
What? I wonder why. Maybe he's just like, I mean, I'm not singing it.
Yeah.
Also, Jeff Beck?
Or maybe the contractual restriction
maybe.
had it. I mean, if he wrote it, and I don't know, but
Yeah.
apparently Knopfler once said that they drafted Jeff Beck to play the world's second ugliest guitar solo.
What?
And it's not a great part of the song.
Oh, we gotta hear this.
Yeah.
We gotta hear this.
It's a saxophone.
Yeah, that's definitely a saxophone.
Oh, is this Dave Matthews?
Oh my gosh, get to the guitar. Where is it? I can't fast forward because there are no words to click on.
Might be the world's second worst guitar solo. This is the world's first best saxophone solo.
Oh gosh, please tell me they don't have a sax solo go into a guitar solo. Oh, here it comes.
Ooh. But that even sounds like a Knopfler. So if that's the second worst guitar solo, I wonder what Knopfler thinks is the first one. It was maybe his version on the original.
You know, he said that, and then it's like, no, he actually is really self-deprecating. He's like, mine was the worst.
Mine was worse.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, like that could have been anybody.
He's bending notes, and it
Yeah.
feels like there's no soul behind it.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing with like bending a note is
Yeah.
blues, and like
Oh,
there's
yeah.
feeling. It felt like no feeling.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
supposed to kind of represent the song and the profession. There's no feeling in what these people are doing.
Knopfler is wrong. Jeff Beck nailed it. Honestly, though, if he had that feeling of making it kind of awkward.
Cold.
Yeah,
Like,
cold.
It's cold. I'm still doing the work. I'm still doing the business of it.
Yeah.
It's just cold and unfeeling. Good job,
Jeff
Jeff Beck. Jeff Beck, you
hats
nailed
off
it.
to you. Okay. Matt, as of October 21, the video for this song has more than 34.9 million views.
Wow.
Of which 33 million are people who typed in private dancer expecting something else on YouTube. It's probably also the video that has the most people clicking off after 20 seconds.
Probably so. That's true. That's a really good point.
Oh, I didn't tell you this. When I was a student teacher,
Okay.
this is in Fairfax, Virginia. It's 1998. Think of the state of the internet.
Yep.
So there were only computers in the library.
Yep.
Took my class to the library. I'm with the teacher, the actual teacher. Kids are doing research. I think it was like a sociology class or something, right? Yeah, because they got to research a topic. And it was basically like practice using the internet.
Yeah.
I'm standing next to these kids and I asked this one girl, I said, what are you interested in? And she said, I want to be a dancer. I was like, okay, great, And then I turned to the kid next to me and I'm talking to him about whatever he's going to research. But then the girl behind me screams and I turn around. And so by the time she screams and everybody turns, I'm already looking like I'm standing right next to her and looking at her. There's that. And what had popped up on the screen was because she had typed in www.dancers.com. And so, needless to say, I was like, oh my gosh, and the teacher was there. And I just like sort of backed away like, oh my gosh, I got to get out of here. Be careful what you type in on the internet. That was my first lesson in that.
I love the fact that, like, as humans, we have this tremendous new technology of sending information and sharing information
That's right.
across the world. And within like 15 seconds of it being developed, it's like, how can we get naked people pictures all over the world?
Yeah.
That's where people's minds go. Like,
I wonder if it was like Gutenberg invented the printing press. They're like, look, we've got the first version of the Bible that can be used for people and everything. And then there's some dude that's like, hey, man, after your shop closes, can I use that press?
Yeah, I've got a new magazine.
This goes back to cavemen. Guys like, writing in coal.
Yeah, right.
Guys like, hey, man, let me borrow that coal.
Yeah, man,
I got something to draw.
It's like it takes no time at all for us to just degrade something.
Yeah.
It's just like that. That's hysterical.
Yeah, so
hey, thanks to our new sponsor, www.dancers.com.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to another hit, Better Be Good to Me.
Kind of has that beat it.
Do, 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 do. Yeah. Oh, and then but there's that synth. Oh, it's gone.
Entangled in your web. Hot whispers in the night. I'm captured by your spell. Captured. Oh yes, I'm touched by this show of emotion. Should I be fractured by your lack of devotion? Should I? Should I? Oh, you better be good to me. That's how it's gotta be now. 'Cause I don't have no use for what you loosely call the truth. And you better be good to me. Yeah, better be
I freaking love this song, man.
It's so good.
It's such a good song.
Yeah.
What's Love Got to Do with It was such a big hit. I listen to this and just think, why was this not bigger than it was?
This is one of those songs that you listen to the album now
Yeah.
and you get past the covers and you're like, of course, What's Love Got to Do with It
Yeah.
is good.
Yeah.
It's similar to when we did Lionel Richie. Like, hello, we're going to love it
Yep.
all night long. Right. But
Yeah.
then when you get to Stuck on You, you remember it. But that's the song for me that I thought, oh my gosh, this song is amazing. It's the same with this one.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's got the elements of the 80s. They're not so overpowering that they dilute and ruin the song. They,
Right.
In this
That's
case,
right.
they kind of enhance it.
It's more tasteful. They just have that little guitar line. Da, da, da,
And that
da, da, da.
3-4 notes, it's been bugging me all week. That guitar part is so uncanny to me. I've been trying to figure out what else it sounds like to me.
So let me play it real quick.
Yeah.
That's how it's gotta be now.
I've been trying to figure out. It's the tonal quality.
Yeah.
I kept going back and forth. Is it a Bryan Adams song? And I think I figured out what it sounds like to me in a big country by Big Country.
What album is that off of, Matt?
It is off the album In Big Country.
Got it. Okay.
By the band Big Country, and the song is In a Big Country.
I can see that.
Some of the personnel on this song, I think, were with the band The Fix. And so I think
The Fix dude is on Better Be Good to Me.
Yeah, so there's a lot of similarity of that, but regardless, like, it's such a great song.
Yeah.
I remember hearing the song on the radio, but I just don't remember it being as big a hit, and it was just kind of forgotten, and I love that song.
Yeah, it's so good. She's not the first to do it, and I want to play the first version because it shows that it's just a good song.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is by Spider.
Should I? Should I? Oh, you better be good to me. That's how it's gotta be. 'Cause I don't have no use for what you lipstick all the truth. Oh, you better be good to me.
Yeah,
It's a great
it's
song.
a good song.
Yeah.
Tina's is better because she gives them some power to the vocals.
There's a feeling behind it that you believe. You better be good to me.
Yeah.
So two of the people that wrote it, Holly Knight and Mark Chapman, were from the band Spider. I didn't know this. Check this out. She is responsible for either writing or co-writing Love is a Battlefield
Wow.
by Pat Benatar. That's it. No,
Yeah, wow.
she's in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. She also wrote Love is a Battlefield, Invincible for Pat Benatar. She wrote The Best by Bonnie Tyler, and that was a #1 single. She wrote with Heart, Aerosmith, Rod Stewart, Bon Jovi. Yeah, she's a monster songwriter.
Wow.
That's the thing, man. She was in a band called Spider. Nobody really knows her unless you dig into the credits
Yeah.
behind.
Well, the other thing, I think, kind of the full circle, small world element to this. So, producer of this is Rupert Hine.
Okay,
And
where have I
he-
heard that name?
He's produced, they did stuff for not only Tina Turner, but Howard Jones and Bob Geldof, The Fix, Rush, Duncan Sheik.
Ooh.
Yeah, of course. But perhaps more notable, he wrote the soundtrack to Better Off Dead.
Well, okay. There you go. Now you've got me.
Yeah, now you're hooked. Get all that
Another
other
one of
stuff.
those 80s movies that we have burned in our brains.
yeah.
It's brilliant.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you go back and watch it, you're like, oh, okay.
yeah.
It's not even that bad. It's just not that
Problematic.
good.
And it's problematic.
And problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. We haven't gotten to it, but we got to talk a little bit about Tina's backstory.
Sure.
Because this is seen as the greatest comeback in pop music, one of the greatest crossovers from her background. And the reason that her singing Better Be Good to Me is such a big deal is that her whole Ike and Tina career is her stuck in this abusive marriage and musical partnership.
This is not only just her comeback album, this is her breaking free
Yeah.
and reinventing herself and reintroducing herself to the world as a strong solo female artist all on her own without the force of Ike steering her and directing her and
Yep.
kind of telling her what to do.
To trace the history of Tina Turner is to literally go back to the beginning of rock and roll, because Ike Turner and his band, they are in the debate of recording the very first rock and roll song
Ah.
at Sun Studios called Rocket 88. He is the beginning of rock and roll. Yeah. And you trace his career even before Tina. He was great. And with Tina, they did some amazing things. Their version of Proud Mary will forever be the version.
Yeah.
But they mainly stayed on the fringes of brilliance, getting popular by covers. But they were known as like one of the best live acts.
Yeah.
Now, this is about Tina Turner, so we're not going to get into Ike. But I'll say this. If he were not abusive, we would be revering him when you look at his discography and what he contributed to rock and roll. We would be talking about him in the same breath as Little Richard, Sam Phillips, all of that crew. He started in the 40s in the big band era, and then he went all the way into 70s rock and roll and almost like Sly and the Family Stone-esque. I mean, no one went through that. I don't know what he did beyond that. Like, you're a terrible person, but we would be speaking very highly of his gifts otherwise.
It's debatable whether we would have ever discovered and known about Tina Turner.
Well, no, especially because her name is Ann Bullock.
Yeah.
Ike named her Tina Turner, which they got into contractual issues when she was Tina Turner. He's basically saying, I created you. I created your brand, which is terrible.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. So Tina Turner, Anna Mae Bullock
Anime Bullock.
Yep.
Nutbush.
from Nutbush, Tennessee. She was like 18 when she met Ike.
Okay.
A lot of times you talk about Tina and it's like you focus on the Ike story.
Yeah.
She kind of gets wrapped up and lost in it.
Yeah.
But the album today is a great example of she is a strong woman who escaped that
Yeah.
and then was able to build back up and not just fade away on her own.
Yeah.
She didn't just build back up. She built it bigger than anything they ever could have dreamed of.
That's right.
And so take that, Ike.
Her whole look from this time forward became such an iconic look. In some ways, it's so quintessential 80s, but like you go to like a Halloween party today.
Yeah.
If someone comes in like a short, like sequin dress,
Yep.
big spiky wig, you immediately know
That's it.
Tina Turner. She not only was able to reinvent her career, she was able to reinvent herself and offer this vision of what a strong, independent woman could look like and be on her own.
Yeah, you're right. It's not just look, there's a persona and an attitude. Well, there's no need for us to cover the weird version of 1984, the David Bowie song, or the mid, as my 15-year-old is now saying, the mid version of Help by the Beatles.
Wait, mid?
Mid.
Mid is the new
That's
meh.
a term. It's like, meh, it's not good. Now's the time that we challenge one another. If you can remove a song, which one would it be? So what's Tina going to do?
Tina's going to make Jeff Beck come in and play a terrible guitar solo for you
Yeah, all right,
until
if
you
don't
remove a song
Okay.
from Private Dancer.
So which one would it be for you?
I can't say I think this is a incredibly strong album. It's top heavy with hits. There's some definite throwaways for sure. I would probably take off Help.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate
You're not here for it.
I'm not here for this. How do you cover a song like that anyway
Yeah.
and make it better? You're not going to. That song is burned into everyone's psyche already. And so if you're going to do it, you've got to do it really, really well. That's an easy one.
That was an option for me. The reason that I did not choose it is because if you'd never heard the original one
Yeah.
and you only heard this, there's a neat way that she captures the sentiment that gets lost in the original version
can see
because
that.
it's so catchy.
Yeah.
You know, because he really was,
Dealing with a lot of
stuff.
stuff.
It's,
yeah.
this has the emotion.
Yeah.
For me, it would be 1984.
Someday they won't let you. Now you must agree. The time they are telling and the changing isn't free. Now read it in the tea leaves and the tracks are on TV. Beware the savage drum. 1984.
Honestly, I was going to leave it on because I'm like, 1984,
Yeah.
this is of the time.
Yeah.
But then I went back and listened to the Bowie version,
Yeah.
and it's great.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, you 1984'd this
Yeah.
way too far. All right, we got just one thing left.
Actually, no, we got something new for us.
What's that?
Oh, funny you should ask. We've got something new, Finest Work fans. It's a new segment we're calling Sleepers. Perfect.
What are we trying to wake up, Matt?
What we're doing with our new Sleepers segment is, and it may not happen with every Epipod, may not happen with every album, but it's that song that, as we listen to the albums, not a hit single.
It's not even on the charts.
If you're looking at like the Essentials playlist on iTunes or something, it's not going to be on that either.
Yeah.
But it's a song that, as we're listening, just jumps out at us. It's like, man, why wasn't this either a bigger hit or why is it more well known than it is?
We started talking about from the Shania Twain Epipod with the Black Eyes Blue Tears. Underrated sleeper of a song. Matt, what's your sleeper off this one?
Mine would be I Might Have Been Queen, the opening track. Yes.
Yeah, man.
It's definitely 80s and it's got some 80s kind of
Yeah.
funk to it. But then, man, that chorus.
That's like a
strong
Bonnie
chorus.
Tyler chorus.
Yeah.
This is her Independence album.
The most sort of autobiographical song on the album. It talks about the girl with no name, like we talked about.
Yeah. This is her Boyz II Men Motown Philly.
Yeah, that's
You know?
right.
The song that tells your story.
Yes.
It's got a great hook.
It's a really good hook.
Yeah. We're going to start a playlist on our Spotify channel at Finest Work Songs. One of those playlists is going to be Sleepers. 3 Z's at the end,
3
people.
Z's.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now it's time for your senior quote.
To the end of the road. To the end.
Senior year, you got your yearbook picture, and you get to put a quote beneath it that represents the road traveled, the road that lies ahead, or some snarky inside joke. Matt, what's your senior quote?
My senior quote from Tina Turner's Private Dancer album would be from the song Show Some Respect, and it's the lines, "We don't know what's up ahead, and we can't let ourselves forget."
I like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about you? What's your senior quote?
From I Might Have Been Queen.
Oh, yeah.
I lived through it all, and my future's no shock to me.
Yes.
Because you feel like, I've been through high school.
Man, I've been through high school.
I've suffered. I've lived.
Yeah, I got stood up at prom. Thanks again to all the Finest Work fans for listening to this and sharing it and liking us, reviewing us, all that. We appreciate all the engagement on social media, whether it's Instagram or Twitter at Finest Work Songs, or on our Facebook page or our website, finestworksongs.com. And also be sure to send us those emails, finestworksongs@gmail.com. And who knows, maybe we'll read one of your emails in a future Kenny Gmail segment.
All right, and until next time, we're going to take you out on another Tina classic.
You're simply the best, better than all the rest.
She's talking to Jeff Beck after he played that solo. That's what she wrote this one.
I'm stuck on your heart. I hang on every word you say. Tears apart. Baby, I would rather be dead in your
Our theme song is by the incredible band Medium Heat. This track is called Radio, and you should check them out at mediumheat.bandcamp.com. And check out any upcoming shows if you are in the Raleigh area. They are on Facebook at Medium Heat Music.